welcome back to Never Never Growing Up.
Today we are actually making this fun, yummy treat that you see in Disney World.
So we actually tried to make this video last week. In fact, we did make this video last week.
We did.
But we had some technical difficulties with our new camera, meaning the audio was less than perfect.
Oops. Things like this happen. We still have the footage and we're still gonna show it to you guys.
Yes, and we would love to show you how we made the Magic Kingdom cheeseburger. Is it spring rolls, egg rolls? I can never remember.
Egg roll.
Okay, but they were incredible. Like,
yes.
We had a fantastic time making them. They were so good. We actually tried a couple different versions that you will see in the contents of the video that you're about to watch. And we're going to talk you through exactly what we did, the way that we made the different recipes that we made. John kind of took the lead on this. I was there for the comic relief, but we will talk you through exactly what we did, and we hope you enjoy this video.
So we're gonna start off prepping the ingredients. First I have this onion that we're gonna dice up. First we're gonna cut it in half. Make sure to peel off any of the brown skin. You're gonna slice it lengthwise towards the root, but don't cut the root off because that's actually gonna keep the whole onion in place. And please don't cut your fingers.
Yes, we're using a very sharp knife because that does the trick, but I'd suggest asking a parent or guardian if you're gonna do this.
Sharp knives actually help from the onion to not make you cry.
Yeah, there you go, chopping the onion.
There you go. It's pretty easy once you get used to it. So pretty much do that for both onions and just put it aside.
It's like you've done this before.
A little bit.
And there you go, just dice the extras and just make them as small as possible, because ultimately for your cheeseburger spring rolls you want to make the onions small and blend it into the meat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, next half, double time. Whew! Wow, you must be exhausted.
Yeah, I need water. Oh, that was tough.
So let's talk through, where did we get the recipe for this from?
We got the recipe from the Tim Tracker's cooking video of the cheeseburger egg roll.
Yeah. So we are just popping the onion into a bowl, and then we are getting on with chopping the dill pickles.
Yeah.
And we will put the recipe that we use and the ingredients that we use specifically in the description for this video. Then John goes in just kind of slicing up the pickles. What's your process there?
This one you're gonna cut it lengthwise and cut it into tiny strips. Again, we're trying to make it into little dices, so I try to make it similar to the size of the onions. So just cutting it lengthwise first.
Slippery little suckers.
Yeah, these things tend to stick to your knife because I guess they're really wet. So just be careful with it and don't cut yourself.
Famous last words.
Yeah, right? But there you go. Pretty easy. Similar to the onions. We're just cutting one whole pickle here. If you have the pickles that are already in slices, I don't know, maybe use about 20 pieces or less. And then just chop them into little pieces. Alright, once you finish chopping the dill pickle, just put it aside, and we're gonna use that later as when we actually cook the meat.
And of course we need a nice surface area. Nice surface area. So now we're gonna go in with the Velveeta cheese, is that right?
Yeah, the Velveeta cheese, it helps make the actual burger creamy. It's a nice cheese, it melts really nicely when it's heated.
And I think this is a good like macaroni cheese because it melts quickly, it's like super squidgy, and it's like a creamy kind of cheese. And what's nice about this is it has the measurements on the foil. Yeah. So we used how much of this cheese?
We did about 4 ounces of this cheese based on the recipe that we used.
So John's just there making a little incision with the knife so we can see exactly where we need to cut it once it's on the board. So we're just removing it from the foil, and there we go. That's exactly the amount of cheese we need. As John said, about 4 ounces.
Yeah, and we'll just cube it up and put it aside. The reason we cube it up is so that it melts easier when we mix it in with.
And it's so squidgy!
They are squidgy.
Look how squidgy this is. I was like, what even is this cheese? I've never seen this cheese before. It's so squidgy.
Yeah, it's like clay actually.
Like Play-Doh.
Play-Doh, yeah.
But there we go. So we're cutting it there. I remember you saying like if we had like a warm knife, like it would cut easier.
Yeah.
But obviously we'd be at risk then of melting the cheese, which we don't want at this early stage. So we kept a cool knife, and then we're just cutting it into these little slices to begin with, and then into little cubes.
Exactly. That's pretty much what we're trying to do, is make it as small as possible, but not too small. That'll help melt quicker once we pop it in the pot.
Yeah, because ultimately this is going to go in with the mincemeat and the onions and the dill pickles, and it's going to turn into one melty piece of goodness.
Yummy cheesy goodness.
It's a leaning tower of cheese!
Cheese! Cheddar! Wait, it's not cheddar, it's Velveeta!
Name that movie. Okay, so now we are starting with some, what is that, olive oil?
Yeah, that's extra virgin olive oil, but you can use any oil just to heat up the pan. You want a little bit of oil in the pan before you put your ingredients in. Especially with, you know, the onions. You want to get that thing wilted down, caramelized.
And here it goes.
Yeah, there it is.
Awesome. Make that sizzle in the pan.
Yeah, I think the heat's about medium high. And
it's a prerequisite to have a matching spatula to your saucepan.
Yeah, it makes everything nice looking.
Yeah, it's good. And the more orange, the better.
Alright, so with this, I guess I'm just explaining that you don't really need to move the onion around much.
It helps if you are hydrated and have a sip of salsa on the way.
Always keep hydrated. And one thing is you need an apron. You can't forget about your apron.
No, you can't have onion down you. Oh, suits you, sir.
Oh, look at that. That's a very lovely apron that I got on.
Minnie Mouse apron, courtesy of my sister several years ago.
Yeah. I'm missing my ears though, but it's okay.
You're fine.
Alright, so again, we were just mixing the onion up. Oh, one of the ingredients calls for mustard. I didn't have any more mustard, so I had mustard packets left over from takeout from one of our days.
Occasionally you get takeout and you keep your sauce packets.
Yeah. Just keep them in the fridge. They'll be useful one day.
Oh, look at you. Shake that onion.
Yeah. Onion actually takes a while to cook down.
2 hours later.
Not
and now we've added the meat. Okay, great. So we're getting into the good stuff now.
Yeah, so this is just the minced meat. There's a good amount of fat in here as well, so that does help cook the meat and the onions.
And watch this space where we'll be draining some of the fat away once it starts to get a little brown. Do you remember how much meat we added to this?
That's about a pound of meat. So it's all in the actual, it's in the recipe.
Yeah.
For the same amount. Yeah, we're gonna cook this off until the meat is cooked well. What also happens is that there's a lot of juices and fat that comes out of the meat.
Oh, there I am contributing to the process. John just explained why he didn't cry when he was cutting the onions. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, with a sharp knife. If you use a dull knife, the stuff that makes you cry or goes ploof. I think is what happens when you're cutting onions, because because of like the membranes or enzymes of the fluids and stuff. Oh, by the way,
here we are seasoning the meat. So actually our salt is stored in a sugar pot, which has caused me some issues once or twice in the past. Sorry, Mum, for the tea I made you in the past. But you know, some people have tea, coffee and sugar in their TCS pots. We have tea, coffee and salt.
Salt. Because we use salt, we don't have sugar.
But is that a reason to keep it in a sugar pot? I don't know.
Apparently.
Oh look, Salt Bay! Salt Bay! I'll have to work on that. Alright, and then we're just gonna add some pepper as well.
Yes. So seasoning your ingredients. So
very important.
Yeah. And that's to taste. My suggestion is always to season light at the beginning.
See, look, that's light, and then John's like, add more. I'm like, okay.
When it's pepper, it's not too much. It's really the salt that's gonna get to you. So light on the salt, and then you can add it on at the end if you need to.
And then just give it an extra stir, so that all your seasoning is all over your ingredients.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna drain the mixture.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that extra fat and liquids. We want to get rid of that. We just want to keep the nice flavorful meat.
Yeah, at this point the fat's already like cooked the meat, so it's plenty flavorful. We don't need the excess, so we're just using a little strainer to get rid of it. And of course the oil is going to be very hot, the fat is going to be very hot. So we are just about to run some hot water so that it dissolves, I guess. And look, here goes the Velveeta, and it's melting already.
Wow, look at that, that looks yummy. I'm hungry again.
And we're adding the pickle.
Yep, so the pickle and the cheese just went in. Give that a good mix.
Is at this point it starts really smelling and looking like a cheeseburger. Oh, and we're adding some Worcestershire sauce.
Yep, some ploops of Worcestershire.
How many ploops of Worcestershire sauce?
I think I did about 6 ploops.
That's the technical term.
Yep.
And some extra cheese.
Yeah, we added some extra cheddar cheese. This shredded cheddar cheese, it's what's called in the recipe.
Some Kraft sharp cheddar.
Yeah, I think in the recipe from Tim Tracker's 1 slice, but we didn't buy
We added a couple of sprinkles, again, for the technical terms.
Yeah, here goes some mustard.
How many bits of mustard?
I did 1 packet.
One packet? 1 packet, it looks like.
I think I did 1 packet, yeah.
Taste test.
Taste test.
Okay. So we were actually discussing the 2 types of people that taste food. So the first type is the person that blows the food, like that. And the second person?
So you're either
blowing the food
blower or a
I was blowing on the food, and it was very, very good. As soon as I tasted that, I was like, this is delicious. It tastes like cheeseburger filling. Yeah. So yeah, I don't recall there was anything else I felt we needed to add.
Yeah, she gave me the nod, so we were good.
On we go. So we're just gonna pour that into a glass bowl just so that it can cool down for a little bit as we work on the next steps. So, and it goes.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a glass bowl, just put it in a bowl.
Yeah.
And what we'll do is actually we need to cool it down just a tad bit. You don't want to have a really hot meat. Yep. Oh, these are the wrappers. One thing about wrappers is they usually come frozen. Make sure you thaw them out to room temperature before you start using them. If it's frozen and you try to bend it, it'll break. So it's not worth it if you do such things.
Exactly, look how thin they are.
Yeah, very thin. And it was actually very easy to roll them. We roll them like a burrito is what pretty much comes down to. Yeah,
so we used a tablespoon or just over a tablespoon to begin with. Or maybe 2. Okay.
Yeah, we got one of those, you know, just your regular household spoon. Yeah, you don't want it too much because then you won't be able to roll it.
I was actually surprised that these didn't come round, but they're pretty square. And then you said use like the envelope technique, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty much folding forward. And
tuck it?
Yeah, you're gonna tuck it back, so you want it tight. This is how you roll burritos actually too. And you're gonna fold it over and give it a roll. And here to seal the envelope, in a sense, you're adding water in your fingers and just kind of rubbing it through. So you're sealing off the actual wrapper. And
then a little more water just to seal it closed.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't too bad. It was pretty easy. That was my first go and it came out really nicely.
Yeah.
So that's really it. You're just gonna keep trying. Make sure that you're folding it where it's from corner to corner. versus like on the flat square from the bottom.
Absolutely. And we found these like, oh, look how fast you are now.
Oh, look at that.
Look at you go. So we found these like egg roll papers in a little market in Chinatown. I'm pretty sure they would also do them in Whole Foods if they had like an Asian section or any sort of supermarket. But we did find in New York City that we had to go to Chinatown to find them. But they did the job.
Yeah, definitely. It's not too far. We're not too far from Chinatown, but anywhere that really does have Chinese products, ingredients, or foods.
And there you go. There we have our egg rolls.
Yeah, and it was pretty easy. This whole process takes about, I believe, 45 minutes if you do it properly.
So then we had what, canola oil to fry them up with?
Yes.
So we decided to do it two ways. One would be in the frying pan and one was using our air fryer, which you saw just now.
Yes. Okay, here we're just testing out the pot to see how hot the actual oil is. I'm using canola oil to fry the actual egg rolls.
And how hot was that?
To be honest, I don't have a temperature gauge, so instead what I did was I did throw a piece of the dough, the actual wrap, to see how it reacts to it. Usually when it starts frying the wrap, then you have an idea of the heat.
At this point you can obviously tell that it's pretty warm at this point, but it's a good way to test it out.
And from there, when you actually start cooking the egg rolls,
here we go.
You can see, there you go. It's actually just frying and sizzling. That's the best time. You don't want to, depending on how big your pot is, you don't want to put too much in one pot.
Yeah, you don't want it to spit, you don't want it to be a hazard in any way. So I'd say like shallow fry it, right? Exactly,
and you also want it to cook evenly. So having one at a time will cook faster. If you put multiple, it's gonna cool it down.
And we've added 2 to our air fryer, as you can see. If you guys have air fryers, if you don't, like, you can tell this is something that we love to do, and we find that we usually get great results air frying our food. So that's why we decided to try a couple out in that as well. But look how bubbly and golden that's looking in the pan there.
Yeah.
Looks good.
So the pan, you can actually keep an eye on it more to see how fast it cooks. And you don't want it to be dark in color.
Yeah.
So you want that nice golden brown color.
But one observation I had is the spring rolls in Magic Kingdom, where you can get them, are pretty smooth looking. When we added it to the oil, I guess because of the air, it instantly had those kind of like brown bubbles type texture to it, as you can see. But that's just something that happens. Different
from the air fryer, because I think because of the air constantly accumulating and there's no oil keeping it from popping out.
And you can tell, like, the egg roll paper looks much smoother.
Look how smooth that is compared to the other one.
Well, watch the space to see what we thought as far as a comparison is concerned. Yeah. Because we definitely had a preference between the two, didn't we?
Oh, definitely. You'll figure out in the end what came out really well and what didn't. For sure. So once that's done, just kind of put it on top of a kind of tissue paper or a paper towel and let the excess amount of oil just drain off. Yeah. So we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna cook off the rest of the cheeseburger spring rolls in the pot and get that nice golden color. Again, depending on how many you put in there, how hot your fryer is, it's all different timing. There's no exact amount of time. It's really just based on how they look. Here I've put 2. What you can tell from putting multiple is that the oil will cool down quicker.
Look at that color though.
But look at the color, it's very nice. This is probably the ideal temperature right now.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Alright, let's check the air fryer.
Alright. So I've put it in at about 12 minutes from start to finish. I think there was about 4 minutes left there.
And these are about done. So let's take these out and put them out to drain.
Yeah, it looks really good. It's It's my first time actually cooking.
Well, you've never had these in Disney, had you?
No, I have not. So,
I had tried them and I love them so much that this is why we ultimately decided to make them, because they're so delicious. They are like the #1 like favorite snack right now of mine.
And you know what? Not having tried the ones at Magic Kingdom, these came out really good.
Did they? Shh, spoiler. Who knows how they turned out?
Right? But which one?
For anybody that might be wondering that hasn't had these yet, you can locate the cheeseburger egg rolls in the Magic Kingdom, actually opposite the tiki room.
Opposite the tiki room.
They have like a little cart or like a stand, I guess, and they will wheel them out. You have to, I'd say, move in pretty quick when they have them come out, because these things sell like hotcakes.
Well, it looks like the air fryer is almost done, and we've just finished everything in the actual pot, which is nice. Cooling down a bit, you know, getting the excess fat drained.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see how the two varietals compared, because it was two completely different ways of cooking, and we instantly assumed that the air fryer would be like a really well-rounded, crispy way of cooking it. And it looked great, like as far as like, it looked how I felt it was supposed to look.
Perfectly smooth.
And, compared to the fried ones, which were a little bit more textured and bubbly, these ones looked really good.
Yes.
If I may say so myself.
They look lovely.
Right?
So compared to the ones that were fried, these ones look nice and smooth.
And smaller, actually. They seem to have shrunk a little bit.
Which one? The fried ones, right?
The air fried ones.
Oh, yeah?
You see what I mean? They look thinner.
Huh. Yeah, I can see that. I think the air fryer ones stayed the same size. What happened was that the
fried ones
expanded because of the bubbles.
Here we go. Here's like a true comparison.
Yeah.
Thumbnail. So we have the fried ones.
Fried ones.
And the air fried ones.
We did 4 of the fried and 3 air fried.
Yeah.
Yummy.
You can obviously see a difference there.
Oh, definitely.
There's
no doubt.
Yeah.
Even the plate is different. Look at that.
Air fried. Right.
Right. Which one would you like?
The nice thing is we filmed this the day before the Super Bowl. So when the Super Bowl came, we were ready for our cheeseburger spring rolls.
Oh yeah, we saved them. I know it was tough to save them, but we did.
We did have a little taste test.
So.
Alright, so we've got our rolls. There's one thing, we are missing, and that is the sauce. So when I tried them with the Thousand Island dressing. So I went ahead and got some light mayonnaise and some ketchup. I'm pretty much gonna do a 1-to-1 ratio of making up a little quasi like Thousand Island burger sauce just for us to dip our cheeseburger spring rolls in, because I found that made a really nice accompaniment when I tried them in the Magic Kingdom. So I'm just gonna add both to a little mixing bowl, and I'm just gonna give it a stir, and then it gives us something to dip the spring rolls in.
Yeah. Again, it's the easiest sauce that you can make.
But it's so good.
And it's so yummy, yes. I'm ready to eat. Are you ready to eat?
Let's give it a try, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, so I believe these are... Okay, so we have one of each here. The fried one on the left and the air fried one on the right that you're cutting right now.
Yep.
Air fried.
That's the air fried one.
And the fried one. Instantly we can tell that the fried one kept its formation better upon cutting across section. And look at that, that looks so good. That looks so good.
I want some more of it.
And then the one that John just picked up is the air fried one. So you can see, like, it looks very, very different. Which one are you going to try first? I don't remember. That's the fried one.
The fried one first.
Give it a try. What do you think? You know what person you are. Oh,
it's really, really good. So good.
Oh, air fried. What's the reaction to that one? Good too.
But crunchy.
A little more chewy. The fried one is the preference.
Definitely the fried one. That one is a bit more crunchy. The shell is actually hard. I guess because it's not properly fried. With the air fryer, it just cooks the outside, and I guess it got harder because of the way it was cooked.
Yeah.
So when you're chewing it at like a really stale chip is pretty much my
yeah, it just didn't kind of come together as well as the actual fried version.
It didn't. No, it didn't.
So here I go, I'm gonna give it a sample as well. I'm sure I started with the fried one also. You know, continuity and all that.
Yeah.
That's a happy face. Oh yeah.
That's really good.
Look at that face. But then I recall being like, there's something missing. I need a little sauce. Because when I tried it in Magic Kingdom, I was using the sauce. So have a little dip.
Sauce time.
Sauce time. I probably lost about half of it in the sauce, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, try it with the sauce. That's what we were looking for. Oh yeah.
That's a nod of approval.
That is a definite nod of approval. So that's a lot of nodding.
We're just talking about how yummy it is.
I think something I observed is we didn't overcook the dill pickle, so it added quite a bit of texture. Like there's a little bit of crunch in there, which was super nice. Oh, and here we go with the air fried ones. See, you can tell, like I had a hard time biting that. Like it's a little more chewy. The texture is a little bit softer. Look, I don't look as convinced of that, do I?
No.
And I was so excited to try the air fried ones.
Yeah, pretty much you have the same feeling as I did when it came down to it.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like it needs that little bit of oil to just make it what it's supposed to be. Okay, so here we decided to end our video because we were like, we did our taste test, we were all good, we tried it, we did the comparison, fried was the better one, and we're just ending our video here.
Exactly, it was yummy, had a good time. First time trying it.
Yep.
We'll definitely do it again. And I want some more of it now.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
So actually we're gonna skip on to the next scene because we decided to do a little something extra here. Okay, so we decided to do a little rescue mission for the ones that we air fried because they just weren't as good. So we heated back up the oil and in they went to the pan.
Yeah.
They still weren't quite the same, were they?
It was not quite the same because it was still somewhat hard of a shell.
Yeah.
You did have that nice fluffy outside, but it wasn't 100%.
They weren't, oh my god, if you saw John's face just then.
Exactly.
So that's what we were doing.
That's it.
So that is it. Thank you so much for watching our little recipe, like DIY cheeseburger, egg roll, spring roll. What did we decide it was?
It's a egg roll.
Cheeseburger egg roll video. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed coming into our kitchen, our itty bitty kitchen, and we should make more videos like this. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, we definitely will, and we definitely need to make sure everything is perfect next time around.
Yes, both equipment wise and recipe wise. But we would love to make more park, like Disney park food videos. So let us know in the comments if there's any like favorite snacks that you enjoy or favorite foods that you love that you would like to see us replicate, because we always love to inject a little bit of Disney into our regular home lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so when this video goes up, we will just be days away at this point now from our UK Disneyland Paris trip. We are so excited and we cannot wait to bring you guys along with us. Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be great, awesome.
Yeah.
So our next series is Disneyland Paris, and that's coming to you 2 weeks from now.
Yes, and we will be filming some of our London adventures as well.
Absolutely.
Just to show you guys a little bit of what we get up to.
we're excited. Hope you guys are too. Thanks for watching, and we'll make more food vlogs soon.
But in the meantime, you can always check us out on Instagram over at Never Never Growing Up, and do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already.
Absolutely.
Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching us create a little Disney magic up in our itty bitty kitchen, and we will see you again very soon.
Absolutely.
Take care for now, guys.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.